Yeah.
Welcome back to Just Weirdly Blended.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Jesse, and we're with
Dalton.
Dalton's back to join us again.
Yeah. And hopefully you guys can hear him this time.
Yeah.
Or us.
Last time Dalton was with us, the audio wasn't great, but the content was stellar. So
it was. It was still actually one of our most listened to podcasts.
That was all me, though.
Yeah, it was all
it
you.
was. And you came up with the title.
No, I'm just kidding.
We'll probably use again.
I was the only one listening.
30 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did come up with the title name.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Someone with the foil hat.
Yeah, tin hat.
No, paranormal chat and a tinfoil hat or something.
Tin hat and the paranormal chat.
Yeah, that's what it was.
We'll be resurrecting that in some form or another.
Part 2.
Because we have new information coming in. I do believe.
Hot off the press.
From what Dalton's brought up. Just in little conversations. Yeah. So
I'm full of information.
Lots to get to.
It might be useful, useless, but I'm full of it.
And hey,
that's better than nothing, though.
Yeah.
You could trick us because,
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that stuff, though.
Yeah.
Like I've told you that.
It's fascinating.
Sounds cool to me.
I am definitely more knowledgeable this time around. I knew the word Skinwalker Ranch. Knew that it was like this alien happening place.
It's just,
but I now know much more about it.
Yeah, who knows what it is though? That's what's cool about it. It's like you don't know.
There's definitely something there.
There is.
What that something is. But,
so my wife asked me this question, and we might have talked about it, but now that you're here, she goes, "Would you spend the night there?" And I was like,
"Skinwalker Ranch."
Yeah, I was like, "I think so."
Depends on where. Where on Skinwalker Ranch?
Anywhere.
Would you go to Homestead too?
I wouldn't sleep in like where the like actual buildings are, but like around there.
Just camp out
in the open or something, just to see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the Old West.
Yeah,
right.
Just to see.
Camp out on the plains with your horse.
You think cowboys see some crazy shit?
Yeah, some Brokeback Mountain.
They had to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. The aliens are taking snapshots of the cowboys doing it.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna put this on my site.
That's what's going on. Aliens.
Look at these humans.
We got to take out the human race now for sure.
This is weird.
Yeah, this is a problem.
This is just awkward.
Yeah.
No, I want to go there though, just to see what it's.
Skinwalker Ranch.
But I guess you know what I found out? They do tours.
See, yeah, I'm not surprised because you got to make money, right? I mean,
absolutely.
You own the property. You're going to try to make money off.
That guy must make a lot because he came out in his briefcase of.
Yeah. We were kind of laughing a little bit at that show, and he's like driving his Lamborghini around. I got something I need to show you, and then takes him to this fancy helicopter.
The problem is though, there's dummies like us that are like, we'll go pay for this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I would totally.
You're gonna show me Homestead 2 for 5 minutes? Hell yeah, sign me up,
bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
I would go see it
if I'm down in Utah and I'm like near there.
Yeah,
you're going.
The only way.
Oh hell yeah! 100%.
That's like the only way I'm really gonna go because I'm not gonna go out by myself and be like, well, I'm gonna find an alien.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna just make a day of it. Like, you know what? A weekend trip. Let's go to Skinwalker. If I was single, I probably would actually.
Skinwalker Ranch almost sounds like a music festival or something though that you would go to.
Like a metal.
It's like everyone's just on acid, and that's why everyone's seeing all this shit happening down there.
You're gonna find the nearest Outback Steakhouse and go to Skinwalker
Right.
Ranch. That's the day. Yeah.
Give me a steak and potatoes.
You got any of that Skinwalker meat?
Yeah, that's all you're gonna do.
No, it was pretty cool that episode though. Like that whole series, I thought it was awesome.
And we've talked a little bit. I know you brought up the show the first time you were on. Then we have subsequently watched that show.
Yeah.
We discussed it a bit, but you're kind of like our expert. You're our doctor, if you will.
I'm sorry. You guys are in trouble.
We're all completely misinformed.
Yeah. But you're informed about something.
You're like the doctor. You're like the owner guy. And I like the guy that won't let anybody dig holes. So,
you're the security.
Together.
What is his name? Dragon?
Dragon, right? Yeah.
So, that's because of the name.
Right? Such a cool name. And you're just like, no, you're
not digging a fucking hole. I just love you guys. I'm sorry. I'm singing with the heart. I just care about you.
Well, I guess since I don't got a PhD, my
I love that conversation.
Matter.
I love that conversation.
And I'm going to bury you. That's what's happening.
No, when he said that made me laugh the most.
Oh, man.
He's like, no. I guess I don't have an opinion because I don't have a PhD.
Well, what happened to that guy? Because they thought because what he was digging, he ended up having that something swallow. What was it? His brain,
his head, somewhere on his
something,
head.
Yeah, in his head. We don't know, according to the show, what really happened.
Well, the guy that one of the ranch hands, it was like, he had some kind of like, something.
Yeah,
oils behind the scenes. He fell on his head.
Didn't they say it was like radiation?
Oh,
like radiation poisoning?
Well, I know one of the doctors got radiation poisoning, but one of the hands that actually works for the ranch got something happened to him.
That's what I'm saying.
But no, they never said what it was. But they never figured it out.
Was it not him? Maybe it was just the doctor that had to go rush into the...
Yeah. He had radiation.
Okay. Poisoning. I thought they said for the guy with the head, it was like... The doctor said it appears as though it was like a direct shot of radiation or something.
Could have been.
But I don't...
There's a lot of
have to rewatch it.
A lot of radioactivity, though, they definitely picked up.
Yeah.
Well, they picked up, and then all of a sudden, like, when that doctor got the radiation, it was gone. Like, they came back and did,
which is so odd. It's like a moving source of radiation, which that was their whole point. Is like, well, what causes that? Well, usually you have something decaying. Do you think it's because, like, what he opened up, like, whatever's underground, like, built up, kind of like, propane when you have it closed and you're like constantly clicking it and then you go to open and light the flame, obviously it's gonna like I don't know, but still radiation's like, it's waves, it's not like a gas, right?
Yeah.
So like you think,
I don't know how it works.
I don't know either, honestly. It could be like,
I don't know.
It's just wild. I don't know.
But it's so airtight, radiation can't come out.
it can't get it. It's like a tin hat, man. Like there's no getting through that.
Yeah. Aliens.
It's aliens. It's aliens.
Obviously, it's aliens.
Come on.
There was some weird stuff, though.
Well, like, with the cows.
If they did not do any weird editing, when they found the dead cow?
Yeah.
Right above in the images, they saw something in the sky. And they didn't say it was like a spaceship or anything. They just said, there is some phenomenon in the sky that's in conjunction with this event happening. If that wasn't just editing stuff, if that wasn't History Channel just being like, let's make this really interesting, that's pretty crazy. Like, I would like to know more about that. Like, those nuggets of information that they did pull out of that show. Well, what's more than just a TV show that's there? They can really. Well,
I think that's part of the reason I wouldn't mind going to see. Right. My own perspective to see, you know what I mean?
You get there's guys flashing flashlights at the side.
Yeah. Damn it. What if there's a guy up on the top of the cliff just like
they got a fishing
doing the beam? He's all fucking
but I mean, like,
throwing a beam of light out to make it look cool.
Right. But I mean, and I don't necessarily believe that, but shows can edit in a way.
Well, where it's a lot of ghost shows do, like Ghostfacers do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they edit in weird ways just to make it more interesting or more. Yeah.
The thing I think about those ghost shows is I love the show Supernatural, and they kind of like poke fun at those ghost shows because there's a group of kids that do this ghost show called Ghostfacers, and it's we're here, there's been sighting a ghost, we're gonna find out and get to the bottom of it, and then whatever. So I always think of that as like those ghost shows where
they rarely find anything
weird. They never find anything.
Like, there was a light in the room.
I seen one where
and it looks like dust particles.
Well, see, I always think that's dumb when it's like little
specks
because it could be anything.
Have you ever filmed something in black and white and it's nighttime and
just
it's
a porno.
Dusty? Just porn in the woods? You ever film that? There's lots of ghosts out there flying around.
Yeah.
They moan. It's weird.
Well, the other show is Monster Quest. Have you guys seen that at all?
I haven't actually heard of that.
They do. They just go out and look for different monsters. Essentially, never find anything.
Nothing.
So they go to like swamp.
Yeah.
Well, no, they go to like swamps and shit, huh?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Did they go try to find Nessie?
Yes, that's one of them.
Okay.
Yep.
So
they didn't find it. Letting you know.
No.
So
alert.
So one thing I saw on the whole Nessie thing was like they showed what a whale's penis looks like, and they're like, "This looks a lot like Nessie's neck."
I'm just gonna say, I think Nessie's an upside down whale.
Yeah.
Nessie's fucking the surface. I think.
I can
took some Viagra.
Yeah.
Nessie's
just showing off.
Yeah.
Damn,
Nessie's actually Dan. It's
come on,
honey, don't look at that.
Yeah.
It's nothing. No.
Do you still love me?
A big whale cock.
Don't look at Nessie. You'll never feel like a real man.
You like me for my personality, right? It's for who I am inside.
So is a whale penis like really?
Well, it looks, bro. It doesn't look right.
Yeah.
It does kind of. I can see where they can think that. But then I'm like, I don't know much about that region. Do wells go into that region? You know,
how would a well be in there? It's a lake, a landlocked lake.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know how that works.
Ago. Well, actually, though, millions of years ago, right?
Millions of years ago, it used to be part of the ocean.
Yeah.
So then there's creatures deep down in that lake that are left over.
It could be possible.
So it's a possibility, yeah.
How deep is Loch
But I feel like wells would breach, though.
2 feet. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, that's the thing. With
in
wells,
the deep depths of 10 feet, we find new creatures.
I would think a well would breach the surface to get air.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Look
like,
past
so you would
the
see
orca
it.
pod. You can see clearly Nessie.
That's not
crazy.
the orca penis, I promise.
Yeah. So one thing that they did find out about Nessie, though, is not Nessie. That's what they're calling it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there's a high population of eels.
Oh.
And in that lake, there's probably a decent amount of food or whatnot. Not a crazy amount. So that's why Nessie's kind of like a problem. Like they're not too sure. A lot of guys would debunk it because there's like, there's not enough fish here to survive a big,
to sustain the life.
Creature,
what if it is an herbivore?
Just eating plants down there.
It just sticks its dick head out of the water and then it goes down and eats a bunch of plants.
Have you guys heard of Lake Chelan over by Seattle area?
Oh yeah, I've been to Lake Chelan.
So Lake Chelan, there's another sighting of a monster.
No way. I've been there. That's scary shit. I don't want to hear that.
There is.
It's the Lake Chelan chupacabra.
It's a La Chupacabra this time.
It's this old story of a sea monster.
For real.
River, whatever, lake monster in there.
Oh, that's cool.
And
that's so cool.
Is that like a traditional story? Like, it's
100%.
been around a long time?
It's probably a sturge.
It's exactly what it is.
A sturgeon?
That's most likely what it is.
I'm sure it is. Sturgeons, they're such a prehistoric animal.
They're terrifying.
They're prehistoric.
And they fall to the bottom. Like, that's scary.
And they're huge as fuck.
They have scales on their
Yeah.
Right.
So I play softball with this one guy, and he showed me like a video of they were going to catch fish, but this sturgeon jumps out of the water. And the thing was like 10 feet.
They're huge.
Idaho
it was huge.
Just had a record of the biggest sturgeon that Idaho's caught, and it was like 17 feet. But I think here in...
How scary would that be, licking your toes?
Trying to eat you because they eat shit off the bottom.
But I think in Colombia, I think they're like 20 plus feet the record, but I'm
really?
not too much.
Wow. I mean, they're big. I know they're big.
Bro,
there was a dead one up by Hood Park that was like just dead on the side of the river that was like 7 feet.
Did it drown?
It drowned. It went too deep.
It did drown.
It couldn't stay
on the surface.
It was dead, you guys.
Yeah.
Its head fell off. It was really old.
Dead.
D-E-D. Deader than a doornail. But no, it's crazy.
Dude, I couldn't imagine seeing a fish bigger than this room.
It was, I mean, that thing wasn't like
20-foot sturgeon would be bigger than this room.
It's like Jaws. You're swimming in the river, and instead of it being a shark, it's just this big old fish.
Well, no, hasn't there reports of like, what was it, bull sharks or something that go in the river?
Bull sharks can, but I haven't heard of them from the Pacific.
I'm just saying in general. I would hate to be in a fucking river thinking I'm cool. And
how scary! So the actual story of Jaws, like the shark was a bull shark, and they suspect because it did go into a river, and it actually went up canals from the river. And the second time kids got eaten, boys were swimming in this canal, like 1909 boys. And they look like full body swimming suits. I'm gonna jump in the water, see? And then they jump in and
we're gonna go swim.
Where's Billy? Oh, don't tell his mom. She'll hit us again. And I was like,
fucking looking like a nightgown and
they're
shit.
Smoking.
They probably would actually.
I think I said this last time we were on, but bull shark from going from fresh to salt is like us breathing into space. Breathing.
It's a whole different.
Yeah,
it's so crazy, right? I mean, they shouldn't be able to do it, but they can.
How big does a bull shark get?
Pretty big. I mean, not as big as a great white.
Sound
but
like they're pretty big. I tell you,
it's pretty big. See, you don't want to look a bull shark in the eye. Yeah. But
8 foot, maybe 10 foot at the most, right?
I don't know. I thought they were bigger.
I don't know. I just.
Because I know,
because Jaws looks like he's like 30 feet, right?
And he also moves very weird.
He's like robotic.
Anyway,
his neck doesn't move.
His mouth opens like very.
Jaws has like a kink in his neck. He's like,
but no, bull sharks I know are not as big. Because hammerheads and great whites, I think, are like the biggest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get like your tiger sharks, your bull sharks, those types of guys. And even lemon sharks get bigger than I thought they got, because I thought lemon sharks are real small.
You know the biggest shark out there, though?
What? The whale
Megalodon,
shark?
bro.
Whale shark.
I was going to say,
Currently.
but then I thought maybe you were going to say megalodon. I think I answered that
Meg.
wrong.
Yeah,
The Meg.
Technically, yeah, the Meg.
So what do
I
you
was
think
just
about
kidding.
the Meg as far as these creatures go? Is the
Do you think there's a
megalodon-
Meg for real down there somewhere floating? We just don't know.
I would
'Cause
love there to be.
Right? Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Well, because you got to think, like,
Jaws
what they say,
on
like
steroids.
8%. How much of percent of the ocean have we actually really discovered? It's like
Or,
something low.
or of the moon or whatever.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, right?
We've discovered more in
Right.
space than we have in the ocean.
Absolutely. It's so true. I teach an ocean unit to my first graders, so I know a lot about the ocean.
Let's hear it.
It's I mean, yeah, like really
8% or something. It's
So,
crazy
and there is
low.
a phenomenon at the bottom of the ocean called gigantism, where the pressure is so high that bodies are less compact in their mass and more spread out. So these creatures tend to get bigger to stabilize the pressures. So you could theorize, because that was the Meg
is-
movie, right? It's a deep sea shark, so it's huge.
And it came through like this pocket.
Yeah. The only thing that gets me is sharks, traditionally, their food sources and all that, like traditional sharks, the way we think of like what a Meg would look like, they go pretty much from like, the sunlit zone up top to the midnight zone where it really gets dark.
Yeah.
But they don't tend to go really, really, really,
Well,
really,
so the
really deep.
Meg in the movie anyway was like in another part of, like how there's
Right.
the core
Was
of
he in
the ocean.
Mariana Trench, I thought.
Somewhere
Yes,
like
it was
that.
so deep down that the pressure
But he
change,
went,
it couldn't.
there's like a there's like a blockage
Right.
that he somehow made his way through.
Right.
Whatever.
And he ate giant squid or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, something
like that was
crazy.
what it was.
Yeah.
Because let's like, what is it? The blue whale or something? No, the sperm whale goes super, super deep down. One breath. These
And
guys.
that's how we caught our first, giant squid. We saw the mark
Yes.
on a sperm whale.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Kraken.
and truly the squid are gigantic. It's scary.
That's where that
how big
Kraken
they
came
really
from,
are.
was
And
those giant squids.
they pretty
probably.
much are. Just those squid don't really come up to the surface. Well, so we say, but they turned out to be real, and all these pirates had stories about it, and we know
Yeah.
that they
We
didn't
don't
dive
think
down
they
that deep.
come from the surface.
So what the hell? They didn't
What-
like wooden boats, I think, is what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they get splinters.
These are not.
Right.
You get a splinter in
Yeah,
your
like-
tentacle.
Can you imagine you just swimming around down there, and then this ship comes sinking down with that big thing on its front and stabbing
Little
you?
mat,
They
yeah.
got mad, so they start going up and grabbing
Like,
them.
fuck you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up too.
Yeah, you just gave me
Yeah.
a big ass splinter in my tentacle.
But isn't that weird? Like they've had lore about those guys for like centuries,
So I
right?
feel like
Yes,
there's
yeah.
some truth to some of that stuff in the sense that, maybe it is a giant squid. They don't know what to do. Just like the whole alien thing.
Right.
There's probably been sightings of shit,
Mm-hmm.
but back in the day they didn't know. They're like, it's a dragon. Or
Right.
It's a bird with wings and flames coming out its ass.
Right.
Like
So that's the
that's
thing,
what's crazy.
is like UFOs and what you call UAPs now.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is the
Which I guess the military. I didn't know that's what they used. That's what they
Unidentified
call them.
aerial phenomenon.
Yeah, that's
right?
what they've been calling them UAPs for like forever.
We can't say UFO. I mean,
But did you hear that they came out with the fighter pilot or whatnot?
Yeah.
And that one guy came out stating that like there is some shit going on. We don't know what it is.
well, they have the recordings that the
recordings.
Pentagon released, and they're
The
like,
Pentagon.
"Hey, what the hell is that thing? That's
Yeah.
like, we can't keep up with it." Blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Clearly,
That-
you don't know how to fly fast.
This is
enough.
how insane
Yeah,
our
you
world
suck.
is. There's so much other crap going on that was released, and nobody even talked about
It's
it.
the perfect time.
Like,
right.
Yeah.
But so you have COVID. Did you do that with COVID? Like, what? No. What? Well, did you have your mask on at least?
No, it's insane. I mean, like, really, they released true footage from
Yeah,
a cockpit. So
for sure.
either they're covering something up, like they have technology, and they're trying to push the narrative of the alien thing, or they're just like, we don't freaking know. Obviously, the world's going to end soon, so here you go. Like, it's real.
I don't know.
It's here.
I think there's something here. I don't know. It's just we're just too vast and too huge and in space that to think we're just like the only people. That's like a
Right.
fish thinking it's the only fish in the whole fucking ocean.
Right.
There's so much other stuff.
There's
down
no
there.
way that we're the only intelligent life. My
No,
question
yeah.
is, are they here?
I
That's
think
my
so.
only question.
I've always thought aliens either visited us. I don't know if they're amongst us, like walking around and like, sipping some Starbucks or whatever.
Well, I did
And who
watch-
knows? Maybe they are.
I did watch Coneheads. I mean, I think that's
Dieter.
plausible.
Well, the Goldilocks zone, so the habitable planet.
Yeah.
Not too far from the sun, not too close. just like us, they're finding those planets
all over the place
all the time. Yeah.
No, I believe it.
It's got to be a commonality at some point. I mean, statistically speaking, probably not real high.
We're just another.
But
well, when you look at like multiple dimensions, what if it's just another dimension of Earth?
It's all the same Earth.
Same Earth, but that's Earth 42.
Right.
That's beyond my brain.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't even think about that.
I put me in a wheelchair and make me speak funny, and I'll tell you all about it.
You know what it is? It's Earth 36, man.
Yeah, this is Earth in the 1920s. If you want to go back there, it's kind of a crazy place.
Like the new Doctor Strange.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I think. I've always thought about like there would be multi-dimensions and stuff. Like I always had this thing I would think about was like with ghosts is what if the ghost what the ghost we see is actually a live person in that time,
and they're seeing a ghost that's like the future.
They're seeing a ghost like there's a ghost in our fucking house and it's like us, but we're seeing a ghost like it's them because at different times we just happen to be in that same spot at that same time.
So question about this.
It sounds cool.
What if we are actually aliens and we crashed on Earth and then we had like such an extreme, like what if the pyramids weren't built by aliens? What if humans had
that's the thing technology? They talk about in Ancient Aliens.
But it was because it was aliens that like came to Earth and crashed and they brought all their great equipment and stuff.
They think
and
about
then they built all this stuff. And so it wasn't aliens helping people, like the aliens were the people. And then over time they're like, no, we don't believe in this technology anymore. Yeah. And then
we want sticks and stones.
And then someone's like, I believe in this God. And he says no to this stuff. So we're going to kill you. And girls can't go to school and stuff. You can't read anymore.
Well, they think that oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, what if like it is like that story, but it's not the way we think of it? It's not like aliens intervening with people. Like they crash land, like we could build some pyramids here, and then they do it, and then over time, like of course, like we do, they ruin themselves, and civilization goes away. They forget they're aliens, and then it's just us, and we're like, how did they do it?
We're big fat fast food people. No.
Yeah,
well,
right.
When it comes to monkeys or a chimpanzee, they're
pretty close,
98% related to them or something like that.
Right.
I mean,
to me that is insane because can we go to a chimpanzee, mess with their DNA,
and make them a person?
Yeah. So they think the aliens came down here, whatever, and we're advanced. Like they messed with our DNA, and because
do you think there's advanced humans now? From the time you were born, right? Do you think there's humans that are like being born now that are like more evolved?
Have you watched basketball or
Elon Musk? Yeah, like you know what I mean. He's like, do you think he's like an evolved form of a human? Like I know he's smart, but do you think like there's like evolution?
People that are severely autistic in the way that they
seems autistic. I
like absentism, like where they're just like, and not absent. What is it? The term I used to know it. Now I don't. There are people that autism is actually such a strength, and if you love something, you are so hyper focused in it that it's almost like an asset because you can delve into it without ever getting tired of it. And like, I don't know, like there are bits of humanity where you're like, you can see where it's trying to evolve to something even crazier than what it already is.
Like a superpower type.
Yeah, right.
For sure.
I had it like, Superman is like, he's a super strong and all that can fly. Yeah. I was like, if he'd come down from another planet, an alien of some sort, that came from a planet with more gravity, he would come here, be a lot stronger than he actually is.
Right.
Well, because like Superman, the reason he flies is because he can control what's around his. That's why he flies.
Dragon Ball Z is a perfect example.
It'd be the same thing.
Goku wanted to get stronger. He turned up
into a gravity
he cranked
chamber.
Up the gravity. Yeah. And he's just doing all his workouts in high gravity.
How badass would that be, though?
That's a good point. What if he's just a normal dude, but the gravity, like us on the moon, like you want to see me fly?
We're a lot stronger.
I can fly. Boo!
Yeah.
I'm really just jumping.
Yeah. You come here and you're just like fucking just killing shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That makes sense,
stop a car.
Yeah.
Because
the car is like nothing. It's like super light. You're like, well, I'm used to Krypton. This thing's like iron. Come on.
Because they say we only use a certain amount of our strength too, right?
And our brain.
Yeah. We can.
What, 10% of our brain power?
Yeah. Or something? So there's like superhumans or of some sort.
So I always wondered if there's like evolved humans now.
Just hiding.
Cyborgs.
Something. I don't know, man. I think there's like, kids or whatever, the evolution, changes. We're a lot smarter than we used to be 100 years, 200 years ago.
I don't think I am.
I mean, I'm not as smart as some of those guys, but
we backtrack a little bit.
But like, you know,
that's humanity. That's some of
the shit like Elon Musk, we could bring up here. Elon Musk, like, let's just do this or that. And like, I think Tesla at the time when he was around, he was just so much more advanced than everyone else. The crazy thing is, like, they thought he was nuts.
Now his principles make sense. They didn't necessarily make sense perfectly when it came to electricity, because it wasn't going to work. They were going to what
do you mean? The electricity we have now is because of him.
But they were going to monetize the electricity. His was the idea of free electricity.
Well, of course.
But what did they do with it? It's Wi-Fi. It's the way that you control
came up with Wi-Fi.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, the Tesla coil and all that basically is what we use today. For, you know, now it's more advanced, but
there were things where he actually had wireless energy. Like he already had it.
That was his whole idea, was to electrify.
Well, no, he actually was able to show like, okay, I can light these light bulbs. Yeah. Like there was a thing going around where he lit light bulbs without turning a switch on or something. It was just all wireless.
It's just there.
And then all of a sudden, you know, now he's got broke. People didn't want to back him because, you know, they ain't gonna make money off him, because he's like, we can provide the
everybody. You can't monetize.
Had a hired man that was actually the brains behind a lot of it.
Yeah,
I don't remember the guy's name, but he doesn't get him very much credit. That if I think I'm right about it, I don't know. I might be wrong.
We're gonna say that you're right. You are a doctor, as
Thank you.
Up.
Yeah. So there's a guy. He I don't know which one he did, but what his name was. I should have looked that up, of course.
That's okay.
He was the brains behind a lot of it.
We're going to Nikolai Tesla. We're going to say like Benjamin
Button.
Benjamin Button. He was the thinker.
I know some of the stuff Tesla would say he would like meditate and like stuff would come out and like that he would come, you know.
But that kind of happens. Like, have you ever read a lot or watched a lot about certain things and you have dreams?
Fucking Benjamin.
And you have like thoughts about Benjamin Franklin.
Like, who hated Tesla? One of the guys hated. Who came up with electricity and shit?
I'm gonna say J.D. Oppenheimer.
No. Someone.
Ben Franklin.
Is it Franklin? I don't know. Someone.
Well, Franklin. Were they?
No. Who's the other guy?
I don't think so. Oh, it's Edison. Thomas Edison.
Hated Tesla. He hated Tesla.
100 years after.
You've seen the Drunk History about that?
Oh yeah. Not only that, I have played Red Dead Redemption, where they have
Drunk History. They're
Tesla, like whole aspect of it.
You know, like, man, they're talking about Edison being an asshole and being he's all like electrocuting animals. This AC/DC current sucks.
Yeah.
So that might have been who I'm thinking of.
You know,
Thomas Edison had a guy.
Probably Thomas Edison. Yeah, I've heard that. Yes, Thomas Edison had a guy. He was smart, but he used people.
Yeah, okay.
Tesla didn't really use it. He was like a genius, but he wasn't smart.
He was very introverted
business-wise. So he would get people to fund him, but he was so into his science of it, he wouldn't think about, I got to get this aspect done so that investors are still interested. He was very much like, you don't see the big picture. I'm doing this because it's going to be amazing. And then they're like, I'm not giving you any more money. So by the end of it,
Tesla Tower and stuff they tore down and all that. Yeah.
And it was there. It was ready. But you would have had to have had an understanding of it to use it like a cell phone company would monetize it today, that type of thing, where you have to have a receiver somehow that would make it work.
So this is my question, and I've thought about this, is say Tesla, like people were like backing him and they're like, okay, yeah, we're do this whole wireless energy. We're like going to advance technology like this because that's, you know, like it is crazy to think about, but what if they would have done that? How would technology be now? Would it be more advanced than it is now? You know what I mean?
Well, look at what's happened since Wi-Fi.
Well, I mean,
like we have TVs now that can talk to like anything.
So that's what they say about aliens is like they're saying, are they here? Can they even travel here? Mm-hmm. So like our like how advanced we were. So you're saying like, let's say 100 years ago with the coal train and whatnot.
Right.
When they would say, hey, you're going to go, we need you to go halfway across United States or go across the world. Like, you're on a horseback and you're not going to be able to, that's impossible.
Yeah.
Now you can hop on a plane and just go.
Easy.
Yeah. So, a couple hours, you're there.
You're there. It's all about where
you won't be.
I think it's all about where you start. Makes your race.
You're right.
And if you do start with that, having all that stuff already, you just knock that out of the park.
Right.
A lot less.
And not only that, but your concept of could they be coming here? If we don't know what it is, we don't have the perceptive ability to pick up on them being here.
We might not even know. We might not
so like
see it.
I think some of us think there is there. They are here, though.
There's a hawk in the sky. No, it's an alien, but you think it's a hawk because they've put this cloak on that makes them look like a hawk to you.
Well, they think that
You know
about
what I mean?
bees is like some of the bugs are now like robotic, right? They're like spying on people. Stuff like that. They actually there's things like that where if you look it up, they think like people are mechanicalizing like bees or mosquitoes or some shit like that.
That'd be smart to do.
Imagine being a life of a fly.
Dude,
Right.
you'd see so much shit.
Yeah,
There's a fly in here. He knows what's going on in this podcast all the time. He's always in this fucking. There he is.
Right.
Yeah, he knows all the secret shit.
And he just comes and he lands. Like, you so could. I mean,
you could.
They're getting
That's
to the
what I'm
point
saying.
now with like tech, and this is getting. This is more like espionage, not so much
nanotechnology,
bro. But like, you get nanotechnology. You build essentially like a little drone, but it's like a little fly. Nobody knows. They're like, oh, get out of here. And it's like listening to your entire conversation. So let's talk about that super secret stuff that nobody gets to know about.
They must get really mad when they use that flash water on it, though.
Right.
I thought it was pretty funny. My brother, they went out to the river and brought his kids and everything like that. And ticks, those are pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
My son got one.
I heard this year it's awful.
Oh man. Well, they're walking through, and he has 2 girls and his wife, of course, and his got a little boy. But they're walking through, and the girls, that's all in their hair. But they got them all out and whatnot. Well, my brother didn't see. He had swimming shorts on.
Oh.
And he ended up having some on his legs. So he took them off, and he's thought he had them all off, and there was one pretty close to his
sackaroo or what?
And I'm like, there's this one guy. That's the one gay tick you end up finding.
Guy.
Yeah.
He says, hey guys, you guys go ahead and go down here. I'll go up here. I'll figure everything out.
I'm going in the hole.
Yeah.
I'm going in the cave.
Don't worry, guys.
Yeah,
I'll figure it out.
Just a little insect bug thing or whatever.
Ticks are crazy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the thing.
So gross. So it's like, I'm hungry.
Well, have you ever tried to kill? Have you ever tried to squish a tick though? Too.
You can't.
It's a very like my son had one, and I tried to squish it.
Even if you squish it, the body will grow back.
Well, yeah, that's why you have to like make sure.
Nuts.
Yes. How? I mean, it's just like, and why can't we do that?
So I know you with like a tick. Like I had to get my son's off. I had to you have to grab it from its head and like pinch on it and then it'll like
back out.
Go, and it's like, oh shit. So I'm like pulling it out.
You can
but
burn it.
They're so fucking small. That's what's crazy.
I know.
Have you guys seen The Land of the Lost?
A long time
ago. The one with Brendan Fraser?
Will Ferrell.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember much of it now.
I know
but
he ends up. It's kind of goofy movie, right? But he gets stung by like it's like a mosquito or something.
Yes.
And they're like, yeah, you got something on your back, and like he turns around, it's massive. All the blood. It's just funnier and shit. He passes out.
I do remember that part.
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't watched that movie probably since
I
it
know.
came out.
I saw it when it was in theaters. So, I mean, I know I saw it, but I'm bad with movies. I'll forget. If it's not one I watch over and over again, eventually I have to rewatch it.
Yeah, true.
But,
Just got some funny Will Ferrell moments.
God, those are good.
Yeah.
He
Will
probably
Ferrell.
ad-libbed a bunch.
Right.
Yeah.
He does that all the time.
Did you ever, I was telling Jesse about this one time. He did a movie with another, I forget her name, but there's a gal that was on SNL around, she was after he was.
What?
The blonde gal. I can't remember her name. Anyway, it was a Lifetime movie.
Oh,
he made a Lifetime movie with his other
I still haven't seen
SNL
that.
actor. It was like, I think they talked about it at one point. I'm either making it up because I'm assuming this is what it was or this is the actual story. They talked about how funny it would be to make a serious Lifetime movie and how everyone would be so confused. Is this a joke or is it real?
Yeah.
And they play it just like that. I mean, they act the way you would expect for a Lifetime movie. He has, I'm pretty sure, a fake beard on throughout the whole thing. He's afraid of water.
More of it come off.
And he's afraid of a dock. He doesn't have it come off because they don't do anything obviously comical.
Yeah.
It's just they let the story be funny because it's like what you expect.
Mm-hmm.
They let the acting just kind of be what it is. And it's like the whole time you're watching this, you're like, okay, it's going to get really funny. And it's funny in the sense that it's not funny. It's a very weird like head trip as you're watching this movie because he's literally afraid of the water and this dock because his daughter died on it. So he's terrified of this dock. And they have a scene where he's like by the dock having like a panic attack over it. But it's Will Ferrell having this panic attack. So it's not funny the way he delivers it, but it's still funny. It's So weird. I would watch it.
Probably because it's like Will Ferrell. You expect.
Well, that's it. And then it's this other gal who's like also very funny.
Mm-hmm.
So them not acting funny, you're just ready for them to be funny the whole time. And it's just like, it's a very odd game that your brain is playing with itself. Yeah, it's fantastic, I think. But
I still haven't seen that. And I love Lifetime.
I don't remember the name of it. Oh, I mean, it's just like any other Lifetime movie. I mean, it's either going to be like this awful man cheats on his wife and is horrible, or somebody kidnaps someone, or like, it's always the same.
The bad guy's always
story.
Just like super knows everything.
Yeah.
Like they never get destroyed until the end.
Yeah.
The random person that's never had any experience kills them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like,
yeah.
Oh, you guys, I had a dream last night. I shot some lady. It was a horrible dream. It was a horrible dream. The police called and we were all like running to this place. So this guy's like shooting everybody, but he's shooting everybody with like a high-powered nail gun.
Damn.
And the police are like, all right, it's police officers and firefighters and all you guys. Like we're the infantry, like getting ready.
Yeah.
So somewhere in this whole thing, me and my aunt and my cousin get stuck in this place and everyone else is gone. And the guy's like in the bathroom. And so I'm like, I get his like air compressed nail gun. And I ask my aunt, where is he? She's like, he's taking a shower. It's like, okay. So I'm going to put this away and I'm going to go get my pistol. So I get my pistol. Well, my cousin comes in the door and my brain apparently forgot who the bad guy was by this point in the dream, because I like look at her. She comes in the front door with my cousin and I look and I'm like, I don't want to do this. It's like graphic. So I'm like, I have to. I pull the trigger. Boom. Like I see it. This gal got blown away by me.
It was your cousin?
No. My cousin was with her because she made her take her to the store or something. So my cousin comes in like kind of nervous, and the gal's just talking. I'm like, she doesn't seem bad now, but I got to do it. Bam! She's dead.
You mad?
We get out of the house. I'm like, oh, we're alive. We're okay. I see this gal that I, in real life, used to work with who is not a police officer. She's a police officer in the dream.
Of course.
So I call her over. And the whole time, I'm fucking everything up. Because she's like, I'm kind of in the middle of interviewing this other person about this thing. But yeah, I'll come on over. I'm like, oh, sorry. Is that okay? And then she comes over. And I'm like, I got her. And she goes, oh, you mean him? My brain, I go, oh my God, who did I just kill?
Oh boy.
The guy was a guy, and I shot this lady in the face. And then I'm trying to justify, well, I thought she was the bad guy.
And then you realize you're on a
shot her,
sitcom.
and I even woke up and was like, would I have gone to prison for that? Like, I'm pretty sure
it should have been. She looked a little manly to me.
She looked like a man.
Yeah,
she looked like him.
Guys.
But did you give her time to identify as one?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It was
Don.
It was too. I was like, I woke up and was like trying to do the legal justification. Like I was under duress.
Dude, I've had some crazy dreams where I wake up and I'm just like, it's like either put me in a bad mood or it's like I'm like really processing what the fuck is
right.
Did that really just happen?
Really crazy stuff.
Like I've had super realistic dreams where I'm like waking up like, what? I'm so confused right now. Did I really just get divorced, or am I like,
right?
Did this really just happen? Did Bigfoot just rape me? Like, what is going on right now?
And then I wake up.
That was a good time.
Yeah, I wake up and I realize I'm being probed by an alien in my ass.
No, it's Bigfoot.
It's big.
13 inches.
So you know how everybody is saying Bigfoot's blurry, right?
Yeah.
All the pictures are blurry.
Yeah.
There's that comedian, my buddy just told me no one ever thought that maybe Bigfoot's blurry, not the pictures.
Yeah. Maybe he's just what if aliens created Bigfoot and they're researching us in these deep dark woods?
Okay, say Bigfoot's blurry.
Yeah, it's
but what if you wear glasses? Like if you say because you wear glasses normally.
Yeah, right.
What if I put them on, but Bigfoot looks clear for me?
Right.
Because normally if I put your glasses on, everything's blurry.
True.
So what if it has the opposite effect?
What if we're really the blurry ones and Bigfoot's not blurry?
What if he's like, why the fuck are all these people blurry?
Yeah, why are all these people why do they have so much definition? Yeah. It's weird.
Why they in 4K?
So maybe he's just like a 1960s TV set.
Speaking of Bigfoot,
that's crazy.
What's the new stuff that?
Yeah, you said you had some new scoop on Bigfoot.
Yeah, just from that show, Expedition Bigfoot.
Okay.
They they're here in Washington,
Oh, nice.
And they ended
good
up
place to start.
Good place to start for sure. And they ended up, that was a year ago or something like that. They ended up finding the eDNA, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you just take the dirt off the ground, you end up finding out some, I don't know if it's Earth DNA or what it's called.
You'll find some like stuff you don't recognize typically.
Yeah, so they found some hair samples, and it ended up being, I can't remember exactly. The hair samples were like a human's in a way,
but not.
Okay. So, and then the eDNA came back at that time as an unknown primate.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and a primate in like Washington.
Monkey. Yeah, so
we don't have natural monkeys here.
Exactly.
No, we don't.
There was only one thing that this gal said, and a chimpanzee did end up getting out of a zoo.
Okay.
But this chimpanzee would not be out there at this time.
Right. And could chimpanzees really survive here?
That's probably did not. They don't really know, but yeah, they never.
I feel like one couldn't.
Because like the winters are pretty harsh. They're pretty fair weathered creatures. And
we got some pretty crazy ass predators out there too.
We wouldn't survive probably.
No, we wouldn't.
If we wandered in the woods. So why would a monkey?
A cougar could fucking fuck up a monkey? You know what I mean?
It's red ass out there, and
if you don't have a freaking Walmart and McDonald's, that ain't surviving out there.
Right? No, exactly.
Yeah.
Huh? I watch alone. I know what's out there.
Yeah. So like one of the things I watched on Bigfoot's like that Les Stroud or whatever. Mm-hmm. He did a whole thing on Survivor Man where he's doing like Bigfoot investigations and stuff. But he always put out the thing like for me Bigfoot isn't real, but he's not real. Yeah. I have no idea right now at this point. Right. But there's some crazy shit out there. He goes, but if I can survive in the woods for a week or longer, who's to say like this guy that
couldn't?
He couldn't. Like he's way more advanced in the like survival than I am.
And he's built for living in the woods.
Then he shows a picture of like the woods. He goes, people don't realize like there's a lot of the woods we haven't seen.
Impassable to us.
Yeah, we can't even get out there because whatever. Well, just like the ocean.
Those mountain goats that can like scale rock walls.
That's crazy to me.
Right? Like there's impassable places that humans just don't go because there's other beautiful places to discover where you don't have to go in these like really impassable places you could fly over. But you get deep out there, and there's so few people that even if you've walked it a billion times, there's going to be little bits and pieces that
there's like
walk through.
There's like areas out there in the world where it's they're still living like they're an ancient civilization.
Yeah, right.
Like people stumble upon them and get murdered out because these people are like, I don't know who you are. Like you look weird to me. Like
I think you're a ghost.
Yeah, how would that would be so weird to be like this tribe, and you're so secluded that you get some like Westerner come and they're just like with their phone or cameras, and you're like, what the fuck is that? That's gonna freak you out.
That a million years ago, that's what happened.
It is. So
excuse me.
The Egyptians came with their cell phones, and idiots in Europe were like, "Oh my god, it's aliens!"
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, how weird. Like,
yeah, you wouldn't have any contacts. You'd be like magic in their hand.
Well, no, yeah, for real.
He played music from his palm.
This little voice box machine,
right?
I don't know.
So, and then also they went to California, the same crew, Expedition Bigfoot.
Yeah. Is this on a show?
This is a show. Yeah, you guys, it's worth it to watch.
What's it on?
I think it was on Discovery Plus.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
I'm watching it tonight.
Yeah, so it's the shit pretty much. It's the best thing. It's not normal, compared to like they send out there's a military guy, and he, survivalist or whatever. And he goes out there with just him and his cameraman. And then there's another gal, and she's a primatologist. And then there's another guy like us. He's kind of a nutcase a little bit.
Yeah.
And
he's hoping there's a Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
No.
And then so the primatologist she went into this not believing in this at all.
Mm-hmm.
There can't be, there's not a primate species walking around. Her tune has changed big time from what she's seen. Mm-hmm. And there's actually like footage these guys film that's pretty legit. Looks like a Bigfoot if I've ever seen one. But in California, so they ended up going to California next, and they ended up finding they did the eDNA thing, and then they also did hair follicle hair samples.
Mm-hmm.
and the DNA came back as an unknown orangutan species, orangutan DNA. So, which is crazy because you guys know the giganto. I don't know. It's a big primate orangutan that is now extinct.
Oh shit!
So it's like, I guess it's like 8 feet tall. Yeah,
what'd you say?
It's like 8 feet tall or something.
So it's essentially the size and scale of a
Bigfoot.
Yeah, so it's a bipedal walking creature, orangutan, and I've always theorized that that's what
Bigfoot was.
Yeah,
or
came from. Yeah,
I could see that.
So they ended up finding that, and then another crazy thing is there's been like people say this is really hard to deal with or swallow. But they did say that guys have seen Bigfoot wearing like
Crocs.
No,
I'm just kidding.
wolf, like coat from wolf, like wolf, like
fur. Okay.
Like they've made clothing.
Like they've evolved in a way where they can actually, like, it's winter time. I got to be a little warm.
So in Oregon, they ended up finding I think it might have been timber wolf or something like that hair.
Oh shit!
So
that's a big wolf.
They don't have out there either. So
they're reintroducing some animals.
Isn't a timber wolf pretty big though?
I don't know what kind of wolf it was, but it's something that's not normally there. That's really fishy.
They're allowing the grizzlies to come back to Washington. That whole plan. They're going to reintroduce them to we killed them off down here, I guess, like hundreds of years ago, whatever. I don't know exactly how it all happened or whatever, but there are plans in the Department of Ecology to reintroduce grizzlies into part of Washington. And then, of course, they're letting the wolves come back. That could be really interesting to see
how that plays out.
If there are.
Like, what if there's a Bigfoot? Do you think a Bigfoot's going after a grizzly? Or is that too big?
Or vice versa. Right.
I don't think a grizzly would go after a Bigfoot. I feel like a Bigfoot would be like an apex predator, right? And there's nothing really hunting him. Maybe us.
Well, he'd use tools, right?
Nobody could find it to hunt it.
Exactly. Right. That's what I'm saying. Maybe.
Do primates have the sense of smell that bears do?
No, that's what they don't.
So that's the crazy thing, because you would think.
What's the sense of a smell of a monkey compared to a human? I
do know from alone that a black bear has 7 times the scent ability of a hound dog, which I thought was. But
then you would think a bear's going to stay away from something he smells, right? Like
maybe
because bears typically aren't like an aggressive animal unless they're unless they're pushed, obviously. But
I've heard of hunters looking through a scope and looking at a bear, and it turns and runs away. It knows, it smells you from a distance.
Right. He goes like this.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Right.
I swear to God, he flipped me off.
Well, that's even like elk. They'll smell you.
Oh no, yeah. I believe it. I went deer hunting, and me and our buddy Bucket, we went to where his property is in Spokane. Didn't really see anything, but then we ended up going to up towards Walla Walla or somewhere out that way, and it's like wide open farm looking, so you can come across deer pretty easy. Mm-hmm. And we're pretty far out, and all of a sudden one of the deers heard us in the brush or something. It's just and so you're looking through your scope, and the deer's just like, dude, I know you're over there.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, nice try, Buster.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy because they all surrounded the buck because we can't hit any of the does or the girls or whatever. And it was wild.
They're a
just to see how far
animal. We think about that. They're like, oh, get around, Dad.
We're 200 yards away, easy at this point.
Yeah,
and you're like, damn, that hurt me. What the fuck? So I can only imagine with animals trying to stay away from if there is a Bigfoot or whatever out there, they're gonna hear him.
Right.
But then again, Bigfoot living in the woods, he's gonna know how to walk through the woods real stealthy or fucking swing
been there a long time. I mean,
hey, that's what I mean.
In theory, this could have been a natural animal in the environment that's always been there and knows the environment well and is in tune with the environment to the point that you're not.
Well, that's what that Les Stroud was saying is if he can survive in the woods, pretty much he can survive out there. If they put him out there and he had to live in the woods, he can do that. And
so why couldn't an animal?
Why couldn't an animal this is their environment do that?
Right.
Even at a better than I can. Because if I can live out here, who's to say there's not this thing out there that can do the same thing.
Well, the elk
twice as better as 10 times better than whatever.
Well, the Alps, the abominable snowman.
Yeti.
That's probably crazy. Yeah, Yeti. That terrain and that weather is probably worse than here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If there's something out there surviving, oh boy.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like it's not going to be living where it knows a bunch of people are. It's not going to go to like the known hiking trails. If it knows that people are around there, it's going to go to harsher conditions.
How do you guys think I'm going to be over here?
Right. Like, oh, wintertime. Okay, now I'll go and I'll be where everybody likes to hike because it's impassable. It's like super snowy and icy. I don't want to fall. You got goats that can climb up. You've seen that. They climb up like a steep, straight wall of rock.
That trips me out.
So, like, if they could do it, maybe these guys are like really nimble. They're huge, and they're just like
little goats, dude, on the wall. Though that's a trip. Or they have their little ropes and shit that they're using tying off. It's crazy.
So that same show,
goddamn goats.
If this is kind of a spoiler of that show, is there's a big thing Bigfoots can cloak.
So like Harry Potter's cloak device?
Honestly, though, wouldn't that make so much sense if a Bigfoot can cloak why you don't see
like
him?
Camouflage him up? Yeah, I can believe it because he's adapting to the environment he lives around.
He knows that you're around.
Like a chameleon or something like that.
Yeah, I can believe that.
It's a big rock.
It's
not.
Bro, I'm colorblind as shit, so that would be easy for him to just be like, boom.
So in one of their deals they did, they had 2 flashlights, both of the people, and they were looking. There was getting rocks thrown at them. Typical Bigfoot thing, rocks thrown at them. And then they see a shadow walking along, and somehow the light ended up. It was like it went. I don't know. You'd have to watch it. I can't even explain it, but it was insane. You'd have to watch it. I kind of.
I'll have to see it.
The light either disappeared or like it got shot in a different direction. That kind of.
It
thing,
feels like it.
I don't like it walked in front of them. But
the light changed.
See nothing, and they didn't see nothing. But there was clearly a Bigfoot-looking shape thing. But there was nothing in front of them. But the light changed. So there's
as if the light was kind of like reflecting off an object, but there was no object.
No, nothing they could see, and there was a big wall behind them.
So that's funny. He mentions the rock throwing, and I kind of see where you're going with this earlier. Before we started it, we kind of were like, we discuss kind of sometimes what we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. We don't go and just have a practice session or whatever.
Then you're going to say this.
Yeah. We're not scripted or anything, but we just kind of give an idea of what we're going to talk about. And when he mentions that rock throwing, now I see why you were maybe pointing to this because I found this in June, and so I saved it because just in case, because I know you've come on the show before, and then I was just like, Dalton might come back. We've talked about it before. I'm going to save this, but it is a large, and this is from the people out there. Don't laugh. This is a real place. The Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization.
Okay.
RMSO, I guess what they're called. But I guess this lady claims that a large male Montana Bigfoot threw a rock at a woman who was out there bow hunting. So this lady writes that she lived in northwest Montana and had an encounter with a large Bigfoot back in 2016, and he threw a rock while she was like out bow hunting. She said she was hunting, by herself. And she was a couple miles from her truck, and she was parked by parked behind a gated area. She was standing on a ledge overlooking an overgrown clear out, and then a pretty large rock landed at her feet. She looked around to see if someone threw it at her, and she didn't see anything, and everything was quiet. There was no birds, no squirrels. There was no noise at all at this point. So, which is kind of weird because when you're in the, you hear things here and there. To be silent is kind of like, it's kind of weird.
Silence is odd in the forest.
Yeah, but then she heard a whistle and looked in the direction that the whistle came from, and then a huge creature standing between, I guess, 2 trees was there, shaking the trees in a clearing about like 75 yards from her. And she's, she claims she's been in the woods most of her life and hunted there, and she knew that this wasn't a bear or a moose. And she took an elk trail to get off that mountain as fast as she could because she was like freaked out pretty much. And then she heard growling and huffing coming from the dark overgrown timber and thought that was impossible since Bigfoot since the Bigfoot I saw was on the right side and the timber was on my left, I was
so she thought maybe there's
in between a family. She thought she was in between, like a family.
Because that's kind of like bear behavior. They don't throw rocks at you, but they'll huff and puff and stand up and really let you know, like, hey, back the fuck off. Yeah. Sounds like that's kind of what.
Well, and she thinks to this day, she says she thinks that where she was like their home, the territory in that area where she was. That's like their home.
That little gulch thing.
Yeah, wherever.
That's kind of a common thing on that show. Is like there'll be things going off over here, over there, over here, like just all around them, and there's like getting surrounded. That's kind of a common thing happening. And whistles is a very common thing for these. Supposedly, they like whistles. They attract by whistling. And they'll mimic a whistles and all that stuff. Of course, rock throwing is a big thing for them.
So when you say they'll mimic a whistle, so like if you're whistling in the woods, they'll whistle back to you, kind of a thing. Happened,
yeah.
Huh. Like they're just super interested in it. And
must be. And I don't know. Like there's a story of this group. They're playing. I don't know. It was something where they're little kids and they were laughing and giggling and like they're high pitched noise.
I don't even like where this is going right now. Go ahead, keep going though.
No, they're just saying like that's when like. Supposedly a kid ended up seeing this Bigfoot and ends up calling the game warden or whatever it is, a police officer at that point. And the police calls, they have this all on recorded. The kid's telling the police officer like what he's seen, like because it attacked his tent supposedly. And it was, they were whistling and all this making noise, and the Bigfoot was intrigued supposedly.
It's so interesting too.
So I thought you were gonna go like the Bigfoot started making giggly noises or something creepy. Like that sounds so creepy. Little kids like laughing creep me out already.
It's awful.
Another thing that is crazy
in the woods anyway.
It's the worst.
Yakima Nation is so these Indians.
Yeah,
Bigfoot is like literally a real animal to them growing up.
Well, no, that Les Stroud thing I was talking about, where he has a season where he's talking about Bigfoot. He comes to a native tribe where it's the same thing. Like they're, to them, Bigfoot's a real thing.
Is Bigfoot part of like the ritual history of the natives? Like they view it as like part of their heritage, their stories. Like,
yeah, it's a real.
It's
deal.
like, it's the real shit for them. Like
the real McCoy, man.
So you saying that, like, that's crazy because, like I said in that show I watched, he comes to a native tribe, like a native land, and one guy's talking about when he was a kid and his encounter and like his families, and it was crazy.
So what's the deal with them scaring people? They've never really hurt a person, right? Like we've never heard a story where like, oh, Bigfoot tried to kill me.
They're introverts,
There's
bro.
People
like,
that disappear though.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Could be anybody. We don't know.
Actually, that's true. There's another story, a show that had nothing to do with Bigfoot or anything as like phenomenon. It was about hunters that get lost. And they said like 7 people a year just disappear without a trace in the wilderness all across America.
Cougars.
And you know how you were talking earlier about
I'm just kidding.
The stories of the Kraken, right?
Yeah.
Like there had to have been some truth to it.
There has to be.
The natives have all these stories about a Sasquatch. There's got to be some truth behind what is happening.
So it's kind of like a bear warns, you don't listen, you get too close, they attack, you're gone.
Yeah. Throws
Maybe
rock
that
at
kind
you.
of thing.
Unless you know how to wrestle.
Yeah.
And you're really good at it.
Yeah.
I see what happened to Leo trying to fuck a bear up. It fucked him.
What happened?
That Reverend. Have you ever watched that movie?
Oh, that Leo. I thought you meant.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
You
know too many Leos, so yeah.
Oh, I guess my son.
Yes.
But like,
I was like thinking, Leo took on a bear. I don't remember that. Story.
Survived to take about it. He
wears
the tooth around his neck.
Yeah.
No, the Reverend.
Yes, that was
rough. A bear and he gets fucked by
this hurt bad. I got bit by a dog last weekend. That hurt bad enough. A fucking bear. No, thank you. No, thank you. Holy cow.
No, they're brutal.
So then a Sasquatch, like, it's got teeth and hands and a dick. No, leave me alone.
I'm literally gonna fuck you. Well, no. Remember we were talking. You remember? But no, I don't think it was last week. It was a few podcasts ago. Anyway, I was talking about one of the podcasts I listen to where he feels like he can beat up a gorilla.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And we actually looked up, and I guess the bite force of a gorilla is like way crazier than like a lion.
Insane.
Like twice as strong as a lion.
That must be all primates.
So I wonder
I
wonder if that's a primate thing.
I'll bet it is, because I know they warn about those little monkeys that people like to get as pets, that once they sexually mature, like they will fuck you up. People have lost fingers and everything to those guys.
I would choke a monkey out. I'm not even joking.
So are you trying to wonder who's going to win between a gorilla and a grizzly?
No, so like this one was like, who would win in a fight between so this podcast I listened to, which is awesome, he was like, I think I can befriend a gorilla, and I think I have a chance to kill it, right?
And you take
and then one of his co-person was like, you're stupid, like, no, it's not gonna happen.
I can tell you straight out that that's not gonna happen.
He looks up and he goes, okay, the bite force of a gorilla is like 1200 psi, where
and that's if they're
the
like
lion,
fist,
because what he looked up was if a lion and a gorilla got in a fight, silverback, who would win? And obviously they say probably a gorilla, because they'll use weapons. They'll figure out, okay, I can use this stick as a fucking weapon and stab the motherfucker. Like, I'm smarter than this guy.
Another Sasquatch trait.
So you're saying that now a lion, you think
I think a gorilla would destroy it. Oh, yeah.
Well, I think so, too. You look at the size of their
just like I think a gorilla could probably beat up like a bear, like a grizzly.
So I
depends.
I think the grizzly would definitely win. And the reason I think the grizzly would win, and I think, is because a grizzly is a natural-born killer that kills by himself.
Yeah.
The gorilla is he's
got to be probed to fight.
Necessarily have to. He doesn't go kill his food. He eats.
True.
Things.
Yeah.
True.
But what if he's probed and then he has to, survival of the fittest at this point?
Typically, a gorilla also doesn't go to the death. They're like, get the fuck off of me. And
that's the thing.
And they beat you up until whatever it is.
They're saying like a gorilla typically is not going to fight unless it needs to.
It's more territorial.
And then the claws on a.
But if a gorilla gets behind a fucking bear, it's going to choke him out or something.
But what if a bear comes up on the back of a gorilla?
I don't know.
But
what if a girl's strong, though?
Back to the original.
I want to see. I want to fight.
Though,
we're going to do it.
You look at a gorilla. Imagine a gorilla out in the mountains, like you said. Okay, so like taking it back to the Sasquatch thing, you have an advanced, intelligent,
but they're smart enough to know to capture something, right? Though. That's what I always think about.
What if it's not even like a full, like, what if it is like the Neanderthal or whatever?
Yeah.
What if that just never went away? There's a branch of.
Well, I think even for us humans, that is the same way.
Because certain people have Neanderthal DNA, like that's known. Yeah. Like there were a group of the
caveman from the Geico commercials.
Exactly, like that whole family that has primate DNA or whatever DNA. Now. But like you think about it, what if there was like a group that just didn't go towards human, to just continue to develop in more rural, like deep woods places, never changed.
See, I thought about that too. So like we came from the water essentially, right?
Right.
From like fish
microscopic organisms and all that.
And we went from there and we got on land.
Right.
What if that never even happened?
Right.
Think about how this world would be.
Right.
Because they talk about the whole mermaid thing, all that. But like,
you believe in mermaids?
Not necessarily, but
I'm just wondering.
I'm open-minded, fella.
Yeah, same here.
Well, I mean, it's like, I can't disprove it.
Yeah.
That's the way I always look at things. Like, I can't
when
prove
they say
so
we've only discovered X amount of the ocean, I'm like, maybe there's mermaids.
Mm-hmm.
But just think about it, though. Like, if we didn't go this way and we just went this way, there could have been.
These little microscopic changes in human history or just world history, that could have totally changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what if all life just existed in the ocean? All this land was a waste. There was just nothing.
Atlantis is in the ocean.
Well, think of all the plant life came from the ocean, every bit of life, and our DNA as a whole. What is our percentage that's exactly the same? Like every living thing on Earth, there's a massive amount of DNA that is completely the same. It's in this microscopic little bit of the DNA that makes such massive differences.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Absolutely nuts.
That's pretty wild.
I don't know where I'm going with that because I don't know anything else about DNA, but I'm just saying.
Would you go going back to Bigfoot, would you go Bigfoot hunting?
Like hunt? Like
not hunt to go kill him, but like to see if Bigfoot's out there. Like, okay, I've heard Bigfoot's around this area. Let me go, I'm going to go investigate.
So I want to take it a step further. Would you do the scene in Beauty and the Beast when all the people go out in the woods with torches to try to get Bigfoot?
We're going to kill him.
Get him. It depends how desperate we need to get.
So
I let him do his thing.
So Bob and Tom, I listened to the Bob and Tom radio show, and they had somebody like provided, or they heard on the internet something, recording Sasquatch recording, and they didn't know, nobody knew. So it was like somebody was really freaked out and posted it, like, "What is this?" and there were two screams, and one was like kind of a thing out in the middle of the forest.
Yeah.
And the other one, it sounded a little different. I don't remember exactly how it sounded, but it was like this like really high pitched kind of like kind of things, but really far off and very echoey. And then hunters had like commented in like, well, that's a buck, or that's like this or that.
Which I can believe.
But it got me thinking, like, out in the middle of the woods by yourself hunting a Sasquatch. I don't care what that thing is. If it's the middle of the night and
It's
you
a
hear
Sasquatch
that scream,
to me.
I'm pissing myself. And
dude, when we
like,
went for a hike, I went to go put some monkey butt on, some powder on my stuff. You know, I went to go pee or whatever, and I went a distance out, and then I heard something, and he saw me. I come running,
looking over your shoulder.
I'm like, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it made like a noise, and I couldn't only imagine being the. And this was the daytime. We had slept that whole night and whatever. So I can only imagine in the middle of the night, all of a sudden I hear some screams. Fuck that! I'm out.
It's crazy.
I'm done. I'm walking 10 miles home.
Exactly. We would have to walk like 10 possibly towards this thing.
So those
Yeah, it's
screams,
true.
they Bigfoot howls and whatnot. They say.
It's fucking.
And that same show, they get the howls and they think that it's a Bigfoot. What they
Yeah.
say it is. Well, they get it on a big speaker, which no one has necessarily done. So
Mhm.
they amplify it out. They get calls back, and that stuff's pretty interesting.
Dude, that's kind of cool. Like where they actually like, so that recording they actually like will play on a speaker.
So out
you
there,
can
they just
okay.
record. So they record it right away and then play it back through a big speaker right back to them.
Yes.
That's
So
kind
the
of
animal, whatever it is calling,
In
and
that
it
area.
essentially gets a call back.
Yes.
And is it like, oh, that's my voice?
Yeah.
that's my homie.
Or is it like, fuck you, dude? I know that's my voice.
Yeah, I know what I sound like. I sound.
Oh, I really sound that
Or-
ridiculous?
Is that how I
Oh,
sound? That's
God.
not like us when we hear ourselves play back. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I sound.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds a little femmy.
Damn,
That's
boy.
not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's how I sound over.
It's probably my cousin.
damn it, Jimbo, shut up.
All right, that'd be
That's so
crazy.
crazy.
And then also that same scenario, those same show, the government actually bought some land in California and it's off limits.
Of
And
course.
that is one of the hot spots. And that's where they get all this information and all this stuff on Bigfoot out here. And the best evidence you guys will find out probably
Yeah.
is what I think is in that area. And they can't go any further.
It's all government owned.
Yeah,
Huh.
why is it government owned? And they just
The government's
maybe-
making Sasquatch.
Government they're so
so
weird.
who knows what's going behind that there.
Huh.
The government's amazing, but
Maybe
also
they're researching it. Maybe
Yeah,
they
I'm
really
sure
are
they-
researching it.
no
Well, here's the thing. Here's one
government
of the theories. If they
trying
are,
to make money off something.
if you can find a Bigfoot and all this stuff is somewhat true, cloaking and this hiding and this strength, and
We got
all
to
this stuff.
why
we got to get it
Yeah.
so we can figure out.
Okay.
Well, true.
We're gonna test him
You
out.
would want to.
We got to get him on our side so we can start fucking people up.
Well, that would be a great
that and they want to
military
probe him
application,
to
I
see
think.
like what is he made of, like how
Probe
can we maybe
Probe him.
oh they're gonna probe a fucking
Probe.
Bigfoot.
DNA wise.
Yeah.
It could
Sorry,
be interesting.
Bigfoot.
Like,
We gotta put
let's
it here.
observe for military purposes. Let's observe them in their natural habitat. We'll build a gate, keep them locked in, and
Well,
just watch. And see
because
how
I
they-
think eventually they would want to like know what was he made out of. Like, let's see what this DNA looks like.
I would want to know.
Maybe there's something we can like. I don't know. Maybe like scientifically we can recreate.
Or there's something
something.
supernatural going on.
Yeah.
Some crazy
With
stuff.
the government, 9 out of 10 times my brain always goes to it's some kind of a cover up. Like they don't want you to know about
They're
something
researching
else,
something.
so they're pretending like, oh yeah, we bought this land in Sasquatch area, but not because it's Sasquatch.
No.
Yeah.
But they're really trying to get you thinking those fuckers are hiding Sasquatch.
We're just here.
But really, they're like
It's a
developing
protective
a
zone.
jet or a bomb or something. Like I don't know. I think they're just not that creative. They're like, oh, we're just gonna build something to blow shit up.
Well, that's the whole Area
Yeah.
51 thing
Yeah.
too. It's like maybe that they're not actually doing what they're doing, but they want other countries to
to
be
think
scared.
exactly.
They go,
That's-
we got some alien shit going
honestly,
on. down
I
there."
think the government loves conspiracy theories because we know that they do things that are like very secret and
Well, there's
not
a whole,
okay for
what do they
us
call
to
it? Area
know.
52 that
Yeah.
they're calling that is where they actually do a lot of their stuff.
Well, that whole Bob
It's
Lazar
like-
thing I told
yeah.
you guys about, there was that S4 they called it, and it was
Was that New Mexico or what was that?
it was in the same area. It was Palouse Lake or something. I can't remember the name of it, but that's where they said that's where Bob Lazar says, and he actually went on Joe Rogan's podcast. I don't know if I told you guys this or whatnot, but his story is that he was reverse engineering spacecraft. That was his job.
Yeah.
So
smart thing to do. I mean, that's kind of like, what is this? We don't know. Let's look at it.
But I did hear something pretty interesting that I never really thought about. Like, they say they got here because of crash landings.
Yeah.
Like, how are these guys drinking and flying all the time? Like,
maybe aliens are alcoholics.
Yeah. Like, are they not that good at flying?
Maybe they don't have the laws like we do now. Like,
I was coming to get a case.
Is it like is it like being on a ship in the middle of the ocean? Like you only have laws for 13 miles and then you're just good to go. So they're like, yeah,
Maybe.
fuck that.
You think aliens only drink rum? They're pirates.
Maybe
Space pirates.
or it's just
They have little shanties.
Right.
AIs, you know.
Yeah.
It's actually not an alien. It's
there's nothing in the ship.
Because technically that's what we're currently doing at the moment.
True. Oh, absolutely. 100%.
With drones
That's all
and
we're
shit.
doing is
Yeah.
we send out, we
Drones or
send
whatever,
out electronic little modules that go out on wheels and collect samples and things.
Like what the Mars rover and shit. And then they have like, I just talked about that the other day. Mm-hmm. They have a craft they threw out, what was it, in the 70s? Mm-hmm. That they finally they were able to wake it up, and you know they're hoping to get like data back from like Explorer, I forget what it's called, something 1.
So crazy.
But it's something that it's like hella far out now, but they threw it out there back in like 78, 79, somewhere around.
I think that's the craft that has like the
rover.
It's not a rover. It's called something else.
It's a satellite, but it's not a satellite because it's a rocket. But
they had propulsion.
Space.
They were able
actually out there,
like able to like turn this thing on because they were noticing the propulsion systems were like not working as well.
It's
so
not
they were
a telescope. It's an actual satellite.
Yeah, it's like a satellite telescope, something that will take pictures. It's like Explorer.
I think it's the deal that's got the golden record on it that plays sounds from Earth. I think it's that one.
I think it's
right because it's sending out information.
There's Hubble.
But it's also, is that Hubble? I don't.
Hubble's a telescope.
I don't know. I need to upgrade my NASA knowledge.
But just you got to think about how many solar systems there are.
Oh, I know.
Those little pictures they have.
Yep.
It is insane.
If you hold your thumb up to the night sky, I forget the number of it, but it's an astronomical amount of like galaxies that are behind your thumb. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
And that's one thumb of the night sky. Because you're talking about an unlimited amount of space behind that thumb. And space is ever expanding until you hit the wall. It's like the Truman Show. Then you hit a wall and you realize.
We just think it's that far out, but it's really not.
And the Earth is flat as well and all that bullshit.
I think we are really inside of
we are flat.
Of a bigger organism. I think we are one small piece of a cell, and we're like this little thing living on it. And
I think we're an alien
in the leg of a dog.
We're just like that.
That's what I always thought. Asbestos.
Yeah,
we're asbestos.
Yeah,
we're killing aliens left and right with our
poisons.
With our poisons. We're slow killers.
I mean, kind of. If you think about it,
that'd actually be like a cool gangster name, wouldn't it? Like, what's your name? I'm asbestos.
Humans are kind of like a parasite in a way.
We're a total parasite. We use everything. We have no regard.
No, we're anything, we destroy one area and then we're like move to another area. You know, like,
why are we looking at space so deeply? Because we are totally fucking up everything.
If we want another place
and we don't care.
We want another place to fuck up.
Plan is I mean,
instead of fixing this one.
Not only that, we're putting energy into turning a planet that's currently fucked into a livable planet. As opposed to just making this place livable. Like,
you're like, oh, that seems easier.
Right. It sounds easy to, like, trees don't grow there. Let's figure out how to make trees grow there.
That's what they're trying to do, like with Mars or whatever.
Yes, but I get it to a point, but it's like at the other time, like, we have trees that work. Like, can we find ways to, like, help nature stay in balance here? And I'm not saying, like, we don't drive and shit like that, but you can't tell me these guys that can't put their brains towards, like, ways to get the methane out and how, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be.
They don't know how to
One of the craziest things is in asteroids. Like, I think we need to figure out how to deflect that shit.
Oh yeah, the killer important. Asteroids flying towards us.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah, we're gonna be like the dinosaurs, and it's just gonna be, oh hey, look at that. Oh, we're screwed.
You just gotta send a group of drillers to the asteroid, have them land on it, drill on it, throw in a nuke, and then blow it up.
Steven Tyler write a song about it. Boom.
We need to find Bigfoot, send him up there, and fuck the asteroid. And
right, that's it. Right. He's got a big dick and sharp teeth.
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah. Maybe that's what the government's doing out there in California. They're driving a Sasquatch.
He's like, I just want to hear "In the Arms of an Angel," and I'll do it for you.
Bigfoot screwing a rocket,
right?
Oh boy,
I got proof.
Oh my god, that'd be great. What if that's how we got proof of aliens and Sasquatch?
Yeah,
Sasquatch recorded an alien while flying in a NASA spacecraft. That would be
Sasquatch somehow gets to space, has his iPhone, and records something.
That sounds like a great movie, doesn't it? Sasquatch in space.
It sounds like a terrible movie.
It's like Sasquatch angry, like breaking the device.
It was like Jason. Remember the Jason movie? He was in space. Jason X. Or something.
I never watched it, but
it was hilarious. It was actually it was terrible, obviously.
It was so funny.
I
can just imagine Sasquatch is like angry because he's a primate, essentially. He has no clue what this spacecraft is, and he's just like breaking shit in the cockpit.
Do you ever feel like a primate when you're trying to fix shit sometimes?
Oh yeah. Oh, I wouldn't survive.
I look at shit and then I'd start making monkey noises because I don't know what I'm fucking doing. I think I would do better in
the wilderness than I would. Like, yeah, I would get so angry I'd like break the damn thing, and like they're always showing,
do that now.
Yeah, they're showing the scientists like, I'll take this pen apart and I'll use this piece to fix that piece and we'll get back home. I'd be like so angry I would break the shit more and then be like, sorry, I'm not good at fixing things. So.
All Bigfoot sees in the past is that we put monkeys in the spacecraft.
Right.
So he's like, they're going to shove my ass in this thing.
I'm not going up to space. Yeah. Fuck that.
He just the finger. The Sasquatch finger is like that big.
He's like, I got a big dick. I got sharp teeth. And I can throw rocks. There's no way they're getting me into that thing.
Yeah, your girlfriend's going to want me or your wife.
I'm going to fuck your wife right now.
You're getting in there. Man, that's so crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even want to think about that. Bigfoot.
Oh.
That'd be cool, though.
All I know is I don't want to get fucked by Bigfoot. At the end of the
I don't think anybody does.
But no, I had a teacher once growing up.
That wanted
when I was in high school, who wanted to get fucked by Bigfoot. Told us all about it. No.
That's a special feeling.
Not the story. Yeah. It's not the story.
Hey, Mom, I think I need to get out of Miss Johnson's class.
I don't know, Mom. She told me a lot about she said her boyfriend's name's Asbestos. But
she calls him Bigfoot.
No,
like
the real story. All my teachers are great. Nobody was a creep. The real story. They had a friend that lived out in the wilderness in Washington. They had like a vacation place, and in the middle of the night, the guy heard something going through the garbage, and he was thinking it was a bear. So he went out to try to like scare it away, and he couldn't identify what it was. It wasn't a bear, and it freaked him out. And he like slammed the door, and he could hear it like pounding on the door. And the teacher's like, I don't know if I believe in Bigfoot or whatever, but I trust this guy. And he was scared. And he said he didn't know what it was. So she's like, I don't know why she was telling us this. I think it was like a PE class or something. I don't know why we were talking about it.
Must have been stoned or drunk.
She was just like, God, guys, let me tell you a story.
So you guys playing dodgeball, man? I'm the dodged Bigfoot.
Guess what? My friend saw, dude.
It's real.
You never believe what my friend saw in the woods.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
I had another friend that had a similar story. He grew up in Hoquiam. And he was saying like one time they were camping and they thought that one was like attacking them, like essentially. And they like, because Hoquiam, like it's a small town with tons of like land around it. So like you could be camping like 20 feet from your backyard. You know what I mean? And it was that kind of scenario. So they like bolted back to the house. I don't know if he knew for sure that that's what it was, but that was what he felt it was. You also like, some people just like tell stories. You never know.
I know.
He was a good friend, but I didn't know him well.
There's so much stuff I want to believe in.
And that's it. Like if I don't see it for myself and it's not something that's like, like sharks, we know sharks are real. Like you'd have to be crazy to say they're not. I tend to
When did you see a shark?
At the zoo. I saw a shark.
False. It was in a costume.
It was in a cage. Oh my God, you guys.
Robotic shark.
Yeah. The Jaws.
Yeah.
Right?
They've made him better. Robots
so
since
you can
the
almost
70s.
See the gear pushing it up out of the water.
It's a guy holding a fucking stick.
There's too many stories. That's all I can think.
Yeah, that's how I feel. When you start a lot of stories. Well, I want to see something.
But there's got to be
with aliens and all that shit.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and like I do get to the point, like when it comes, like we now know that like the giant squid are real, and again, like there's paintings of it in old, like drawings of it in old books and stuff. Before we knew for sure they were real, somebody saw something because these things are now
Larry's crazy, real. Man. He don't know what he's talking about.
So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm never gonna say I believe it until I do see it.
I think there's truth behind something. Obviously, I think back then, like people didn't know how to interpret things. So maybe some of the monsters that we, that are lore now, that it could be like a giant squid or whatever. But I don't know. Something comes from there's Bigfoot came from something.
Beginning point, right?
Yeah. Bigfoot was something, and even to this day, they still have sightings. Just like aliens, there's been sightings or something since they have stuff in the Bible or something where they describe something where when you think about it logically, like it could be an alien or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. When you think about it, you're like, dude, that makes sense to me. That makes sense. What if they
this time travel?
They're just describing something that they can describe because at that time that's it's a bird with these big wings.
That's their framework.
That's it. Right? They only know how to describe it because that's all they have known their whole life.
I think the wings is a symbol of flight.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
it's how do you tell? Oh, they're levitating. How do you say that back then?
Yeah, exactly.
You put wings on it.
Yeah,
because that's what birds do. They fly.
What's this fire? It's a dragon, or whatever it is. It's a bird with a breath of fire. But like when you think about it, it's a propulsion system. Maybe it's fire coming out of the fucking engine or whatever. You know what I mean?
I also think that like if a big reptile came in, they said it was a dragon. I do think that fire is a damage, messing things up. So they're gonna
maybe not literal fire.
Yeah.
It's just obscene, or something.
Right.
I don't know.
All I know is that if you play Grand Theft Auto 5, there's a whole bunch of alien shit in that. You get deep enough.
Have you been playing it?
I've played it a ton. I haven't played it lately, but I love those.
I had the online, and then it was I didn't really care.
No, it's not online. You got to play the actual story. You play the actual story, and I love the story that they do. But I've never done it, but I've watched a lot of videos where people did it. There's clues. There's this Mount Chiliad in the game that's like the highest point on the map, and you can find these like clues that if you go to Mount Chiliad at a certain time after doing certain things in the game, you can actually unlock an alien experience.
That's cool.
And the same thing ties into Red Dead Redemption, which the same company makes.
Yeah.
And there's apparently a cabin that, again, if you've found certain clues and you've done certain things in a certain order and go at the right time, an alien ship, you'll see all these flashing lights in the house, and then you go out to look at them, and there's nothing there. It's pretty wild. And that's obviously a game, not real life, but
or is it
fun games? And I love the interconnectedness that they do at Rockstar that way. There's like all these little bits and pieces. There's a time traveler that you can meet in Red Dead Redemption, who the theory is that he also connects in GTA 5.
What Red Dead Redemption is this?
That's the new one, the Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah,
okay.
New. I mean, like relatively new.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch in there. I mean, it's just crazy. It's fun.
I didn't know that.
They make it fun.
I started playing like Grand Theft Auto, but I was like,
see, because I love Grand Theft Auto games. I love just like fucking around in them. I love destroying things, and I love their storylines. I find them very funny. Killing strippers.
I want my money back.
Yeah. Picking them out of the car.
Like we're all kind of serial killers once the game starts. Like, oh, I'm gonna kill this bitch.
Leave a little clue behind. I leave $100.
Right. I think I'll take her arm.
I take everything but $100 from her.
No, it's crazy. I enjoy them. I enjoy those games a lot. Rockstar games are like my top tier. Like everything else, like I'll play a little bit, but those games I can go back to over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I played either of those games.
Yeah,
it lets you get out of this world and be who you really want to be.
Yeah, a crazy person.
A big criminal. That's me. The Horizon games, I love those. I want to fight.
See, and I haven't played those games.
So. I want to fight robotic, like animals.
See, and I think that's
it's
the
actually
difference.
Cool. It's a cool ass game.
I'm not as like science fiction-y. Like my interest tends to be more in like realism for a better sense. Those games aren't real, but they're more like realistic worlds.
Mm-hmm.
That's more the gameplay.
Well, I mean, this world's realistic in the sense of like everything around it's real, except like obviously there's robotic animals.
Right.
But it's it's actually a cool game.
Yeah.
The story's really good.
Yeah.
The story in those like Horizon games are really good. Just like the Last of Us and that game's. If you haven't played those, it's like zombie-ish games.
Mm-hmm.
I never even played Horizon.
Horizon Zero Dawn, it's called. It's dude, you will not regret playing that game. If you're into games anyway, like that game is freaking phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah. You're like this girl, and you like you're using bows and different like weapons, but you're fighting these animals that are just like huge and robotic, and the game itself is like very beautiful.
Yeah, you showed me some videos of it, and it does look pretty cool because they're almost like dinosaur-looking aliens, or not aliens.
Yeah.
Whoa, they got in my head there, brother. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like robots, like these huge like robot dinosaur-looking creatures are crazy.
It's pretty, and it's a very big map.
Because you said like you can like actually hunt animals and stuff too, right? Like, there's real nature out there, but then like this big.
There's like boars and like deers. You can kill them for their skins to help like upgrade like your pouches and stuff like that.
That's cool.
It's a cool game. You can ride. There's certain animals you can actually end up learning how to. They call it override, and then you can end up.
So like hack them.
Ride them. Yeah, you basically hack them and you can ride them. Like, and then say you're running around and it hadn't died or something because it was in battle. Because it'll fight with you sometimes. Like it'll try to protect.
Like help you.
Yeah, sometimes, and sometimes a lot of times it'll die if in that sense. But
that's kind of crazy.
The cool thing with it is like you can whistle. Just like in Red Dead, you can whistle for your horse.
For your horse.
Like it's the same saying. The horse will come trotting around.
How long ago does this game come out?
Oh fuck! It's been years.
Oh wow!
The second game just came out, I think, the beginning of the year, this year. But the first one, it was years. I didn't play it for like a long time. My brother kept telling me like, "No, play it." I'm like, "I'll play it." And then I finally played it, and I was like, "Dude, this game's awesome. Have you ever played it?"
Yeah, the one I got into, I talked to you guys about it last time, is Elden Ring. That thing.
Oh yeah, I want to get that game.
Oh my goodness, I haven't got sucked into a game like that in a long time.
Really?
Well, I hear it's tough for one. I hear it's a pretty tough game.
Yeah, you got.
But it looks so cool.
See, that doesn't work for me. I don't like to fail at things. So
no, I hear it's a ragey game. I hear it could be ragey.
If you have anger issues,
I do. I have patience with a lot of things. Like work wise, I have a lot of patience. Home wise, I have no patience.
Yeah. No, Elden Ring, that's a game I wanted to buy.
Now, what's the
definitely good?
You're gonna have to remind me what the whole genre, like where it falls.
That's
like
it.
Elden Ring.
That's like an open world like game. You're like a knight. You can be like a mage where you do magic, or you can be like a knight, right?
Yep,
stuff like that, or not a knight, but
you go on like quests and stuff like that.
Yeah, the round table for the knights and all that stuff.
Okay, and is that like an online interactive game, or is it?
You can only play with 3 guys in the actual. Like go through, like you can join their world, one guy's world, but people, you join each other's world to help them out, but it's mainly you doing your thing in your world.
Oh, okay.
And if you need help killing a boss or something like that, or
then people can join you.
Somebody can join you, or people can also join you and kill you.
Oh, that would fucking piss me off.
So like,
hey Jesse, can you help me real quick? Damn it, Jesse!
Your guy can't kill like your buddy. You let them in, but there is people can invade you in certain areas.
Yeah,
it's the worst shit sometimes.
That's what I heard. That would piss me off. Like, I'm trying to fucking kill Larry.
Yeah. And it's always a guy that's 100 levels higher than you, and it's clearly knows what he's doing.
And is a total loser because it's all the time he has. Like
because he's 100 levels higher.
That's all he's doing.
Yeah, so he come and rapes you and your friend, and it's just the Bigfoot story.
Yeah, it's probably like some fucking 10-year-old too.
Right.
Yeah, I got you. Yes.
You like it, don't you?
Yeah. I don't know. I want to. That's a game I've actually been wanting. Right now, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Those are pretty cool games.
So you're like a fucking Viking. So it's kind of cool right now.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah. I just got a boat, so now I can go do fucking pillage and shit.
That's cool. Well, you have to. You're a Viking.
Yeah, no, you do that. It's
the
pretty
last
sweet.
one I played, my cousin had it.
If you ever seen the show Vikings, I highly recommend that show.
And this game's a lot like it.
No, but it's badass. Like it's pretty.
It's cool Viking stuff.
It's a history show. on the history channel. It's actually really, really good. But
the last one of those games I played, like I said, my cousin had it. I didn't actually have it, so I didn't see a lot of the gameplay, but it was pretty cool. It was like the colony one, the one from like early America.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like the Revolutionary War era. Yeah. That was pretty neat.
The Assassin's Creed one?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Old New York. It's not so, I don't think it really is New York, but it's like the New York type place, but it's like when it was all farm stuff. So you're running on New York, but it's like really crappy little towns.
Look at it. It's the Empire State Building.
Right.
Did you ever play Uncharted?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know about them, have not played nearly enough of them.
All of them.
See, I didn't have a PlayStation.
I beat the first 4, and then there's one called Legacy that I'm playing right now. They're so good. Dude, treasure hunting games, that's my shit. I want to treasure hunt because of those games.
Yeah. Pretty good games.
Oh, yeah.
I got into those a long time ago. And
yeah.
The stories, right? The story's really good, and the character, like, the way they like interact, like it's a movie essentially.
Well, the movie came out right now.
I like the movie. I'm a big Uncharted fan. Like I watched the movie. It's now on Netflix actually. Yeah. And I love the movie, especially at the end, the very like after the credits. Like there's a part where I'm just like, oh hell yeah! Sully got his mustache. That's what I've been waiting for. Like it's in the game. In the game, Sully like what is one of the characters. He has like a mustache.
Yeah.
In the movie, he doesn't.
But
the movie, it's because they're younger.
Right.
So, but it was actually a really good movie. They did a good job.
Well, that game, when I was in college, there was a guy in my dorm that had a PlayStation. I did not have a PlayStation, but he did. And he had that game. And it was like the first time I looked at the game, I was like, this is like a fucking movie.
No,
like the cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude,
even the gameplay is like a movie sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Like there's one where you're like climbing this train that's about to fall off a rock.
I love that one. Yeah.
And you're like, jumping, and so there's a scene in the movie where it's similar to that, where you're like, you get that like feeling from that game. You're like, oh, that's
the cinematographer definitely was familiar with the games.
Yeah, I think
the style of the games. Yeah,
it was good. And they actually, the cool thing about the movie is the voice of his name's Nathan Drake. He was in the movie.
Oh, that's
the guy who plays the actual voice. Like he's in the movie because they would like wash ashore. And he's like, oh, I've had that happen to me. I was like, hell yeah. My wife's looking at me like, what? I'm like, oh, no, he was in the game. Blah, blah, blah. Those games are badass.
Yes, they are.
Uncharted, yeah.
Yep.
Easily probably one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah.
That one is. So then Elden Ring. That's like those two are the ones like I dived into pretty good.
Yeah.
Those kind of games, like a story game or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the games I like. Like Last of Us 1 and 2, same way. There's a very story driven. Mm-hmm. That one's more like zombies, but it's like the story is really good. They're actually making an HBO for HBO Max. They're actually doing a show based on the Last of Us game.
Isn't that weird? Like that's kind of
Pedro
crazy,
Pascal
right?
is going to be like one of the characters from that game. It's pretty cool.
In the beginning, it would have been like, oh, this thing inspired a game, and now games are inspiring cinema.
Well,
it's
right?
kind
like
of a crazy turnaround, right? Like,
I mean, they've had some games where it's like it just didn't work out in movies.
Yeah.
Like now it's like what comics are like the big thing in movies and stuff.
Well, I guess I don't know. Resident Evil was kind of that way, like the game Resident Evil, and then
which was a good one. Like a lot of times when they do like a movie or show based on a game, it really is just shitty.
Right.
I like the Resident Evil games.
Yeah, Resident Evil games, awesome.
Now, why is it? Because I played more of the early games and didn't get as into the later games. They switched from being like zombies to being more like creatures.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get into them.
Yeah,
the last one I played was they were still kind of zombies.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah, that one was. It wasn't too early.
I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen like zombies. Like
I played 5 for a short second
because there was 1 and 2,
but I don't remember if it was zombies or not.
1 and 2 were definitely zombies. Like mansion full of zombies, then city full of zombies, Raccoon City's full of zombies, the police station, all that. And then number 3 was Nemesis, right? I think they called it. And so it was like zombies, but then you had to fight this guy that was like a super zombie creature thing. And then there was like a lot of games where it felt like you're more like fighting these like weird creatures. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm totally off base because, like I said, I haven't played a lot of it.
I don't know. I don't know. You might be right on. I don't know. I haven't. Like I said, I didn't really get into the Resident Evil games. I played them, but I never really was like. Oh,
was number 5 the one where you go to like this
new.
French countryside?
Something like that. It was a newer one.
It seemed like a great game. I was going to be so creeped out, so ready for it, and then they made it so damn hard to find bullets. I would die.
Was that the one with the girl? Forgot her name. Damn it. But the girl and the guy, and they were, gosh dang it. I think I know. This is 5 then.
It is 5. I think I know what you're talking. Yeah. There is a girl and a guy.
I just remember you're supposed to, like, you get there because you're looking for one of them or something. And they're like, there's been so many stories about crazy things happening here.
Sheva.
Yeah?
Was her name Sheva?
Maybe. It's been a long time. I got so pissed. I shut that game off after like 10 minutes. Like, fuck this shit. No fucking bullets. Not one bullet. It's a fucking town. It's France, damn it. And I was so cool.
Goddamn Americans took everything.
Yeah. We have
goddamn Germans maybe took it.
Country.
But you don't want to play Elden Ring then.
No, Elden Ring. I want to play it because like it sounds fun, but I like I said, I've heard it gets you rage. People rage on it.
I don't play games to fail. So like I want easy gameplay with a good story.
And hookers.
And dead hookers.
Yeah. I'm telling you, the game I try to get this guy to play is called Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay, yes.
You're like a samurai, right? And but it's like open world. It's like it's along the lines of like a Red Dead.
Yeah, it's very similar.
But it's like Red Dead, but you're a fucking samurai.
Just traditional Japan.
That's fun. That sounds good.
Oh, dude,
it's really cool.
The story and like the gameplay, it's phenomenal. It's like a really good. The game is really good. Mm-hmm. The story is very, very well done. And I think they're actually trying to make a show out of that.
They should. It's a really good storyline.
Yeah.
The Mongols are invading.
And the Mongols, yeah. There's
always real estate Mongols coming in. Yeah. This is a joke from a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
And anyway, so like they're trying to take over Tsushima, which is like Japan.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Is it supposed to be Japan?
It is Japan. They talk about it being
Japan.
They don't
I
hide
couldn't remember, but yeah, but Tsushima is like their prefecture or whatever. And it's pretty cool. I mean, like you go on all these little missions and there's always like Mongols walking and you get to fight them. And
you upgrade your armor. It's cool. Badass game.
You get to go naked into like these ponds.
Let me know. If you have a PS5, let me know. I got the game at my house.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it.
I don't have PS5. I have Xbox One, fortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Do they? I think it might have come out on Xbox, right?
Tsushima?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I
owe you guys pistachios.
No, that's all right. Yeah, Sammy bought them, not me. So. It's a cool game. Yeah. If they do release it for Xbox, I would definitely play it.
It's a really good game.
So
highly recommend.
The very beginning of Elden Ring, one of the things that you know, just talking about getting mad quickly, is if you go up to this guy and you're supposed to talk to him. If you swing at him, he'll immediately kill you.
Nice. Okay.
And you don't know what you're doing yet.
Oh,
so you don't know the buttons or anything.
Yeah, it could be the worst. I've seen that happen to people.
Yeah. Like
it could be the worst thing ever. Like if you just go up and hit this guy, which people have done plenty of times, it just ruins your whole day. And then you turn the game off and you throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah.
I did. I really want to know how that Resident Evil 5 turned out because it seemed like a really cool game. It was very
Resident Evil 5. If it is that game, it was actually a really good
French
game.
Village, and like
from what I've read,
all of a sudden like the zombies start coming after you, but you have like a knife and you've got a gun with like 5 bullets, and it's like no matter what I did. Given I don't play games to think, like that's what the rest of my life is for. I play games to play. I want to shoot the shit out of zombies and get out of Dodge. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Play God of War.
So like, I don't like a lot of I don't want to get stumped by games that make me feel stupid when they're like, solve this riddle, the moon and the sun. Like, fuck that. Like, just come on. Let me shoot some zombies.
You want mindless gameplay.
Yes, I want mindless gameplay. Let me mow down some zombies. That's what I want to do.
You want to be a Neanderthal or whatever.
I'm a Neanderthal. Yeah. I'm a Mongol.
Yeah, I'm a Mongol.
No offense to anyone that might live in Mongolian. Again, back to this.
But
funny joke. But
God of War, those games are fun.
Yeah. Those are pretty hard too, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
I fucking bumped mine down shit to easy because it was like, I just want to play this game. I don't want to fucking.
See, I usually play on like intermediate. I
usually will start whatever the game gives me. That's what I start.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. I've never done hard. I'm not the guy that's like, oh, you know what I really want.
Well, I have friends that would beat a game and then they're like, I'm going to play this on extreme, and I'm like,
go for it.
Look, I already beat the game. I don't want to play.
How do you get good enough where you don't get hit, or you don't? You know what I mean? Like I've never been good enough where. Like button mashing is my shit. I live in button.
I got
mashing.
pretty good at Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah,
so I replayed
they train you really well in that.
So I replayed it because I like really enjoyed it. But I didn't put it on hard,
right?
Because I mean, some of that shit was kind of hard. You're fighting like 5 guys at a time.
In the beginning, you suck.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in the very beginning, like you just
your
don't
sword's
have the skill.
Garbage and shit.
Well, you played it too, then already.
Oh yeah, I'm nowhere near where he is. He's like done. I'm probably
it.
like halfway at best.
Yeah, I finished
have
the game.
to. I don't have. I can't play a whole lot at one time, but if I could, it would be done by now. But
yeah, Ghost of Tsushima and Horizon,
it's really good.
Really, and Last of Us. If you haven't played any of those games, really
yeah.
Good.
Well,
but I think Last of Us is a strictly a PlayStation game, though.
I think it was, and I think Tsushima is still at this point. But I think so because I haven't seen it for.
I'll have
Xbox
to look it up after this.
But I'm telling you, it's beautiful. I mean, like when you start. It's like there's this scene where it's like all the cherry trees. There's like this lake and this field, and there's like these buildings in the background, and just cherry blossoms flying everywhere.
Oh yeah, it's
and then you look over here, and there's like a forest of white trees with their yellow leaves just sparkling down. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
So if you're talking about the 2 in the Resident Evils, if it's 5, I played the Living Daylights out of 5.
Did you? Were you in France?
I can't. That's what I just can't. I don't ring a bell.
It was very gray in the beginning. Hold on, because there was one also where you're in like Africa.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah. I did not play that one. Okay. Was that really good?
I think so.
Was it all zombies in that one?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that would be cool.
Zombies are cool.
You're in Africa,
like Left 4 Dead.
Zombies. I don't want to fight monsters.
But it's a game was a pain in the ass for sure. Yeah. We went through it with somebody else and played, and that's. Sorry.
We'll do it afterwards.
But man,
Fallout games are like that. You have to like survive and figure out how to make shit.
Don't they have like little like flying things that will find you too in Fallout? Like
I'm trying to remember.
You have to hide or something.
There's part,
like,
there's some, and then there's like some where
you're here, and
I couldn't do Fallout.
Dude, there's one where I played it and like this monster. Somehow I come because I like to explore, and so I'll just walk around. I won't even do missions. I'm just trying to level up or do whatever. I come across some monster that's just I'm like, okay, I'll try to fight it.
Nope.
Get bent over.
Bigfoot versus me. He just hit me once and I was dead. I was like, oh, you suck. Fuck this game,
man.
But like, no.
Yeah. So is that a Fallout thing? Like, there's like creatures that came out of the
there's
Fallout?
creatures. Yeah. There's creatures out there. It's a cool game.
Yeah,
it's
I've only seen a little bit. The one that was like very 1950s looking.
Yeah.
That's the one my cousin was. I have lots of cousins that play lots of games.
I was playing. Was it Fallout 3? I don't remember.
Then there's Borderlands.
Oh yeah, Borderlands is cool.
That's good too. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of games apparently I need to play.
It's like their artwork's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like hard to explain. It's like cartoon, but it's like anime, but it's like your game.
Their picture is amazing.
Background, it's crazy. It's a trip.
Is the whole game done in that style?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. It's cool. Borderlands. Me and my buddy my buddy Nick, and then our friend Kevin. We would play that online together.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a sweet game. There's like 3 of them now, I think, 3 or 4.
Borderlands. There's going to be like 4 or 5 now because they're making Tiny's Tina.
Great games. 4. Yeah, they're pretty cool games though.
Because there's 3 for sure I know of, and then they just made another one that's it's not actual Borderlands, but it's the same people.
Well, that's like the Uncharted. There's Uncharted like Legacy or something. Oh. It's not the same characters from the game, but it's like the same. It's Uncharted, same premise, like you're hunting treasure and stuff, but you're different characters.
Gotcha.
And that's cool, but you get attached.
The OG, yeah.
Oh yeah, you do.
So what's Borderlands based on? Like,
I don't know.
You're a borderland of something. So like you're in I'm guessing like you're in this no man's land of like terrain that's not supposed to be in or something.
There's like cyborg or not cyborg, but there's like It's crazy, all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and essentially you're trying to kill one bad guy that's trying to like take over. I feel like in Borderlands 1.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a war happening?
Something like that. But you're like, you are kind of like a Mad Max looking dude.
Okay.
Yeah. You're kind of like that, and you're like desert. It's kind of desertish.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your weapons, you can upgrade them.
And
it's a cool story
going on too. Like there's a little bit of humor in it.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's why I love a GTA so much, because their stories have so much humor written into them. But
yeah. GTA is great.
Did you guys ever? You guys play like what game am I thinking of? Like the military game, like Black Ops, all that kind of stuff.
Like Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. There we go.
Yeah.
Did you play the one where you actually get to go to DC and like run through the White House and stuff?
Which one was that one?
Modern Warfare. I think it was Modern Warfare. That game.
Yeah.
I love that game.
Yeah.
So I didn't play those story modes as much. I got to the point where I bought a Call of Duty just to play online.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now they got the free one that you can just do online.
Yeah.
Yeah. Warzone, which I hate a lot.
Yeah.
I don't play the Call of Duty games online. The game I used to play online a lot was Battlefield.
Okay.
Battlefield was good.
I have not played those online at all.
Because it's like at the time when I played it was like you had to be like a team and try to like take over and do stuff, and like I don't know, there's more strategy to it, and it wasn't as for me like Call of Duty's too fast. Like I'm old, my old eyes can't keep up with this.
Yeah, you can like stand back as a sniper, which I loved in Battlefield. But what's funniest thing about it is you would shoot and you'd be just miles back, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be trying to snipe people, but it would show the little light, and then you'd be able to see where the sniper was. So every time you shot, like you might get a couple shots out, but then people would find you.
Yeah, no, that was what I would do. And the cool thing with the Battlefield at the time of when I was playing it was like they took into account like the wind. So if you shot straight, it really wasn't straight because the wind caused it.
Blow the bullet. They use like physics. Like bullet physics.
It was really cool.
Curvature of the earth.
Yeah. What curvature? It's flat.
I played the heck out of Call of Duty at one point. Halo, of course. I love Halos.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever watch the show?
No, I heard
really it sucks.
Bad. I want to really bad.
Yeah, I want to watch it too. It's on Hulu, I think, or something. Or what
Paramount.
Is it? Is it Paramount?
I downloaded a free Halo that ended up being very boring.
If you want to watch a Halo that is hilarious, watch Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
Very funny.
You will not it's so funny.
What Halo did you download?
It's like Battlefield or something, or Battle Zone, or I forget what it's called, but like you basically just lay down a marker and tell troops to go there.
Oh, no.
That sounds terrible.
It was awful. Like it should be fun because you should feel like a general or something, but
left.
It's so fucking boring. Yeah. That's it. It's this
Green can go
looking
east.
map, and you just like go here. No. I hate it.
Halo is basically like a Call of Duty style game.
Oh yeah.
But cooler.
I played the earlier Halos. Yeah.
Halos are bad.
You get on the story modes with your buddies and go have a good time. That's my favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I never played the story. But no, I played it here and there. But I don't know. Halo's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big one. That's a big game. Like people love that fucking game.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna watch the show. I can't believe I haven't.
Yeah. I wanted to watch the Halo game, and there's another show I'm trying to watch. I think it's called Terminal List or something like that. It's on Amazon.
Oh, I've heard of that one. Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool actually.
Yeah. Like the Tom Pratt. Is that his name?
Yeah, Chris
Pratt. I went to school with a guy named Tom Pratt.
Tom Pratt.
Every time I think of Chris Pratt, I always say Tom Pratt. No, that's not right.
You're Tom Pratt.
I'm just very arrogant. So I'm like, oh, have you seen Michael Jordan? Yeah, Tom Jordan. He's a really good basketball player. Was.
No, I thought you married Chris Pratt.
I thought you guys were together.
Tom and Chris Pratt. Yeah, just call me Tom Pratt.
Yeah, you took
Tomcat. Tomcat.
I'm a
Pratt.
traditional girl. I take it. Sorry, Chris Pratt and Tom Pratt. Got you guys mixed up there.
No, I want to see it. It's cool because like something happens and then they're coming back like, no, that didn't happen. Yeah. They're like, it's like they're fucking with him in a sense.
Oh yeah, right.
It looks, it's kind of trippy, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's like basically they were sent on a death mission.
If you want to watch a show and laugh, and you have HBO Max, there's a show called Our Flag Means Death, and they're like pirates, but they're like pirates. Like one guy's trying to become a pirate, but he was like a gentleman, like he was just a rich, had a lot of land, rich, and he just got tired of his everyday life. So he's like, I got a boat because I got the money. I'm gonna get this crew, like, these people who think they're pirates. We're gonna cruise the street. We're gonna be pirates. And then he's like, just the nicest pirate boss and shit. And it's, oh my god, they come across Blackbeard. It's a fucking funny show. It's the guy who directed the last couple Thor movies. He was in that Free Guy.
Yeah, the guy who's like the bad guy in Free Guy. Did you ever see that movie?
His name's Takai Waikiki.
I'm trying to think of what else you'd know him from. Definitely watch Free Guy. That was a great movie.
Free Guy.
With Ryan Reynolds, where he's like in a video game world and he doesn't realize he's a non-playable character.
He's an NPC.
And he falls in love with this girl who like is a playable character. And he does so the whole time it's Ryan Reynolds not knowing he's fake. Pretty much.
Wow.
It's a great
funny
movie.
When that come out?
A couple years back.
Yeah, not too long ago.
But like the main bad guy in that one, the bad guy is the guy who written and directed this Our Flag Means Death, and he plays Blackbeard. He's also like the voice of the Rock, not the Rock, but his name's Korg. He's in the Thor movies. He's like the Rock guy.
Oh, Korg.
You know who Korg is.
I know that guy. He directs that.
Yeah, he's the one who directs He's the one the guy who voices Korg. He's actually the director of the last 2 Thor movies that just came out. But he's also does those movies. Yeah,
he's the one who tells Thor's gonna go fight Hulk. Oh, hey, Doug, new Doug.
Yeah. So that guy, he's actually in that. He's the one who came up with that. Our Flag Means Death, and he plays Blackbeard in it. And it's, oh my god, it's because Blackbeard's he's tired of being a pirate because he's just so good at being a pirate. He's just like it's
just tired.
People are afraid of me. They just fucking run when they see me, and like I just don't want to do this anymore. Maybe teach me how to be a gentleman. I'll teach you how to be a pirate. And it's actually a really well told story.
Well, he has such a funny way of speaking anyway. Like this the way he delivers lines and stuff is.
Yeah, and then like because he's on Thor, he's playing like Call of Duty or something. And he's like, hey Thor, this guy called me an asshole. And he's like, Thor gets kind of pissed. He's like, hey, let me talk to him. When that was Fat Thor that time.
That was such I love how they make the babies. Daddy.
Did you see the new Thor?
No.
Oh, never mind. Watch the new movie.
Okay. He explains how little Korg babies are made.
Oh my god,
it's pretty fascinating, pretty funny.
But I don't know. I think we can end it. We're about 2 hours deep.
Holy crap! Nice work. You got us talking.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've been 2 hours deep. So
yeah. I don't know.
Deal.
Yeah, thanks again, Doctor, for being on the show and sharing all your knowledge of the.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to grab you. I was trying to grab the fly.
Yeah, I'm glad to give you guys misinformation.
Yeah, I'm down with it. I'll believe it.
I forgot my tin hat, so I'll take it all in.
Now you guys are screwed now.
Perfect. All right. Well, soon enough, we're gonna have ending music. Dalton's gonna help us make this music. We're gonna have something to play.
I'll listen to it and just put my input.
I'll pretend like I'm playing along and smile and nod a lot. It's gonna be great.
Hopefully, you guys get a tambourine or something. Maybe I can do that.
We sure can.
Right? Is that tambourine?
More cowbell.
Or cowbell.
More cowbell.
More cowbell.
Right.
All right.
I was about to push the button, but anyway. Yeah, you guys have a good weekend.
All right, I got
a good week to the work week.
Yeah.
Back at it.
I'll have this video up way quicker this time.
Let's get this pesky weekend out of the way and go back to work.